Hi, in this video, I will guide you how to enter the transaction for second scenario, which is we pay to freight forwarders that clear the imported goods. In this scenario, there are two ways to do it. The first way is key in the transaction without using tax code IM, GDS and other payment method. Another way is key in the transaction by using tax code IM, GDS and other payment method. Let's see the example first. On 10th of August, we received supplier invoice, which is we purchase goods from supplier overseas, 2 units per $500 each. So the total purchase amount is $1,000. We assume the currency rate is 3.5. In K1 form, custom assess the goods amount as 3,600 ringgit and charge 6% GST on it. The custom duty is 200 with 6% GST. So the total GST amount will be 228. The forwarder company will bill us for clearing the imported goods, so they will bill us 228, which is GST paid on behalf, custom duty 200, and freight charges 100 with 6% GST. Now I will show you the first way, which is key in the transaction without using tax code IMGDS and other payment method. First, we will key in the purchase invoice, which is billed by supplier overseas. So kindly go to Purchase Invoice, create a new Purchase Invoice. So the creditor kindly select Supplier Overseas, which is in US dollar. So the date kindly select 10th of August, and the supplier invoice number as per example is INV 0002. And select the item. As per example, the quantity is 2 and the unit price is $500. So in the first way, the GST code here will select no. Means that there is no GST code. Because our overseas suppliers won't charge us on GST. So the GST charges will be 0. And the currency rate is 3.5. Once you're done, you may click Save. Now I will enter the AP invoice, which is billed by forwarder company. So kindly go to AP invoice entry, create a new AP invoice. So the creditor is forwarder company, and the date is on 10th of August. And the supplier invoice number is FW0001. So kindly refer back to the example. The first one is forwarder company bill us the GST pay on behalf. For GST pay on behalf, kindly select input tax account. Then you may refer to the K1 form amount. So the K1 form amount is 3,600. This is the custom assessed amount. So kindly key in 3,600 at taxable amount here. Kindly remember, just key in at taxable amount only, because we just have to pay forwarder the GST amount of 3,600. And the GST code, kindly select IM. The second one is custom duty. So kindly select custom duty. And the amount is 200. So key in at amount here, 200. And select tax code IM. And the last one is the freight charges. So kindly select freight charges. And the freight charges is 100. Kindly key in 100. And select the tax code is TXS. So you may double check for the total amount. So the total amount is 534. You may refer back to the example. So the forwarder company bill us total is 534. So once you're done, you may click Save. After that, you may key in the AP payment for supplier overseas and also the forwarder company when you make the payment for them. Now we will do for the second way, which is key in the transaction by using IMGDS and other payment method. So we will use the same example. First, we have to create a new payment method, which is payment made by forwarder on behalf of us at account maintenance. So kindly go to GL, account maintenance. So kindly click on bank cash deposit and select other payments and select current liabilities and key in the account number and also the description, which is payment made by forwarder on behalf of us, and click save. After that, same as the first way, we have to key in the purchase invoice, which is billed by supplier overseas. So kindly go to purchase invoice, create a new purchase invoice. So the creditor is supplier overseas, which is in US dollar. So the date we will change to 10th of August and key in the supplier invoice number and select the item. As per example, the quantity is 2 and the unit price is 500 US dollar. In this second way, the GST code we will select IMGDS. IMGDS is no GST rate because this is supplier overseas bill us. So for the explanation for IMGDS tax code, you may refer to the first scenario video. So the currency rate is 3.5. Once you're done, you may click save. Now we have to create a payment voucher by using payment made by forwarder on behalf of us in order to do the posting of GST of imported goods and GST of custom duty to input tax account. So kindly go to GL, cash book entry, create a new cash transaction, new payment voucher, pay to kindly key in payment made by forwarder on behalf of us. The description, you may key in the supplier invoice number. We assume the date is on 10th of August. So in this second way, kindly select the payment method that we created just now, which is the payment made by forwarder on behalf of us. After that, kindly click on imported goods document and click search. So once you click search, the system will sort out the invoice that we key in just now by using the tax code IMGDS. So kindly check the invoice and key in the custom charges. So you may refer to the example, custom duty is 200. So kindly key in the custom charges 200. And remember to select the custom duty account and select the tax code IM and click OK. So here will show the custom duty, which is 200 that we key in just now, and also 6% GST on custom duty. Here is the purchase invoice info. The system will auto highlight the purchase invoice info. So in this example, you may refer to our example. As per K1 form, custom assess the amount is 3,600. So you may change the custom assess amount here. Change to 3,600. So once you change the custom assess amount, the GST amount will update based on the custom assess amount. However, sometimes custom will assess the currency rate. So we can change the custom access currency rate also. For example, it's 3.7. So the custom access amount also will change based on the currency rate. So for the example, it's 3,600 custom access amount. You also can key in your K1 form number at here, import declaration number. For example, so once you're done, you may click Save. Now we have to enter the invoice which is billed by forwarder company. So kindly go to AP invoice entry, create a new AP invoice. So the creditor is forwarder company. Key in the supplier invoice number. We assume the date is on 10th of August. So in this second way, kindly select payment made by forwarder on behalf of us account. So kindly select the account and follow the total amount of the payment voucher that we created just now. So the total amount is 428. So this amount included the GST paid on behalf and also the custom duty. Kindly select the tax code OP. Then you may follow the forwarder invoice. So another is the freight charges. Kindly select freight charges account. So the amount is 100. Kindly select tax code TXS. And the description, you may key in your supplier invoice number and your K1 form number. So you may double check the total amount. So the total amount is 534. You may refer back to our example. So the invoice of forwarder is 534. So once you're done, you may click Save. After that, you may key in the AP payment for supplier overseas and the forwarder company when you make the payment for them. Now I will show you the GST-03 of August taxable period in order to view the transaction that we entered just now. So this is the GST-03. You may click on Hide options in order to get the larger view. So the taxable period is from 1st of August until 31st of August. The transaction that we entered just now are within this period. Now kindly look for 6B, which is the total input tax. This is the total input tax amount. You may click on the amount in order to get the transaction drill down. This is the transaction drill down. So both of these transactions are GST of custom duty and GST of imported goods that we enter in the first way. You may double click on the transaction in order to get the document details. So this transaction is from the AP invoice of forwarder company that we key in the first way. You also can double click on the second transaction, which is entered in the same AP invoice of forwarder company. Since tax code of freight charges is TX, so you may look for the TX record. So this is the GST of freight charges, which is 6 ringgit. You may double click and you will get the AP invoice of forwarder company. So this is the AP invoice of forwarder company. Now let's look for the transaction that we enter in the second way. Both of these transactions are GST of imported goods and GST of custom duty that we enter in the second way. You also can double click the transaction in order to get the document details. This is the payment voucher. As we mentioned before, in the second way, we will create this payment voucher in order to do the posting of GST on imported goods and GST of custom duty to input tax account. You also can double click on the second transaction, GST of custom duty, which is entered in the same payment voucher. By creating this payment voucher, it will convert the tax code IMGDS into tax code IM, as shown in your GST-03. Since tax code of freight charges is TX, so you may look for TX record. So this is the GST of freight charges, which is 6 ringgit. You may double click and you will get the AP invoice of forwarder company that we enter in the second way. This is the AP invoice of forwarder company. This is the explanation of GST-03. Before the end of this video, I would like to clarify that there are two limitations when you use the first way to enter your transactions of imported goods. In this video, we assume all the documents that are same. However, in the real world, some forwarder company will bill you before they receive the K1 form. For such scenario, you will face the problem regarding when you claim input tax earlier than K1 form date, which is an offense to the GST law. This is the AP invoice of forwarder company that we enter in the first way. So you can see that we enter the GST on imported goods and GST of custom duty in AP invoice of forwarder company. So you will claim the input tax based on the AP invoice date. Now let's think about this scenario. If your GST taxable period is 1 month and your forwarder company bill you on 31st of May, but you receive the K1 form on 2nd of June, which is in different taxable period. If you use the first way to enter, then you will claim the GST on imported goods and GST of custom duty on May. However, you should claim your input tax for this transaction on June taxable period instead of May. So we advise that not to use this first way if you experience such scenario. How about the second way? In the second way, we'll use the tax code IMGDS to link with payment voucher, so it won't have this problem. This is the payment voucher that we enter in the second way. So we enter the GST on imported goods and GST of custom duty in payment voucher instead of forwarder AP invoice. So you may enter the payment voucher date as per the K1 form date, which your input tax claim will fall to the exact month as per your K1 form. This is the reason that we advise you to use the second way to enter your transactions if you experience such scenario. Besides that, the first way has another limitation, which is your GAF file will incomplete. Now let's see the GAF file. This is the GAF file of August taxable period. In the first way, the supplier overseas purchase invoice will not appear in your GAF file. It just has the record of AP invoice, which is billed by forwarder company. However, in the second way, GAF file will have the record of supplier overseas purchase invoice and also the forwarder company AP invoice, so that your GAF file will be more transparent and clear in the second way. In conclusion, we advise users use the second way, which is enter the transaction by using tax code IMGDS and other payment method, as the first way has its own limitation, even then the first way is easier and much more simple. This is the end of the video. Thanks for watching.